Hey everybody, this is going to be a video tutorial for social media management, specifically for martial arts schools, and it's going to be specifically for organic content. Now, when I say organic content, I mean anything that's not paid advertising. No boosting posts, no paid advertisements. I'm not going to touch any of that stuff in this video. Um, I'm just going to touch organic content, which is basically content that you either produce yourself or your staff or your family's parents are producing for you that you are borrowing and posting on your own page. Um, I'm going to go into some of the strategies and tools that I use to help me effectively manage social media. Just a little bit of background about myself. I'm a fifth degree black belt in Sangam Taekwondo. I originally started training in Hillsborough, New Jersey, and then I moved up here to Bangor, Maine. I've been managing social media for over 5 years now. When I say social media, I mean Instagram and Facebook. I don't do Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. I use TikTok, but I don't post to it for any of the businesses that I help manage social media for. Um, but yeah, so this is just going to be Facebook and Instagram specific. I can give a little bit of advice on the other platforms, but I don't have as much experience with those. Anyway, um, before I even go into some of the tools that I use to help me manage and post social media content, you need a way of acquiring content to post. And so this can be done in a couple of different ways. It's honestly easiest if you have your own instructor staff that are running either portions of the class or entire classes on their own, because then that gives you the opportunity, or one of your other instructors the opportunity, to take this social media content during classes. And when I say social media content, I mean videos and pictures specifically. Those are the two things that you want: videos and pictures. Um, so the easiest way is to have staff that are teaching classes so you can actually go take the content. Alternatively, if you've got somebody that's on your staff that is really good, plugged in with social media already, or has just some basic videography skills, basic photography skills, you can recruit them to capture content for you. You just need to be explicit in your instructions on what specifically you're looking for, the type of content that you want captured, how to share it, and everything. Because one of the things you have to be concerned about is when you are sharing this content, um, depending on the method, it can actually reduce the quality of the images and videos that you take. So, for example, if I take a video on my phone and I send it to somebody via text message, oftentimes it reduces the quality of that uh, content to send it easier, send it faster. Which, if you go then post that, it's going to be a poorer quality content than what you originally captured. So that's something that you have to think about. It helps if you have a dedicated device that you can capture this content on, or if it's your own personal device that you can then share with yourself or upload to your computer for editing, or just edit it right there on your device, whatever it is. Or alternatively, you have a Google Drive or some other cloud storage system where any content you take can get uploaded right away to some type of server where it will preserve the quality of the content. As far as what content you want to capture, uh, there's, I mean, there's almost no limit. Um, I I find that some of the best organic content you can capture are uh, still images during class. So basically, people either posing specifically for a picture, or uh, times in class where everybody is holding a position. So, for example, standing straight on their dots or on their spots. That's a really good picture. Holding a block or a strike or a weapon technique, something like that, a stance with a punch out. These are often are very good pictures. As far as video content, board breaking is really great. I would encourage you to look at Grandmaster Caruso's Instagram page for his business. He posts a lot of board breaking content that's really top notch. Um, Bag striking or target striking is always a good one. Weapons techniques, performing kicks or forms, especially if you have an impressive and talented martial artist doing the actual performance. Um, you know, kids following along with an instructor, that always looks good. And then other pictures that do really well are like at graduations, at testings, or whatever you'd like to call them. Um, Little kids like tiny tigers with their new belt hugging their parents, or with their parents cheering them on. Um, People receiving their new belt and celebrating their accomplishments, tournaments, people with medals. These are all things that tend to do pretty well when it comes to social media. So I would start with those aspects. Um, One of the things you could do, again, with the permission of your parents and your families, is if you have a Facebook group, when your parents and families either go to these events like tournaments or graduation or whatnot, and they share their pictures, they share it to a centralized group where you can then save them and reuse that content for your social media. Again, you're going to want to get permission to do all of that, but that can be really great because oftentimes when we are running these events, we're so focused on the event, it's hard to actually grab the social media content that we want to capture. Um, but anyway, once you have your content, then what do you do with it? Well, you could just go onto Instagram and upload the photo, write in a caption, have it shared to Facebook too, um, and be done with it. That works. And that's what I used to do for a really long time. I would, just upload it to Instagram, automatically share the same exact caption to Facebook. I would take the time to craft my description or my caption for the photo, find all the right hashtags, and then post that content. And what I was doing even was I would take all the hashtags that I used basically for every post, and I would save them to my clipboard, or I would save them in a note or a document on my phone, so that way I could just copy and paste them to every post. That works really well. What I do now is a little bit different. So now what I do is I take content, I take a picture or video or whatever it is, and I go straight through Facebook, or I guess it's Meta Business Suite. And so let me show you that first. So I'm going to go to Facebook. This is the Facebook page for Campbell's ATA Black Belt Academy. It's one of the pages that I help manage. You should be able to change it over here, right? If you're in your personal account, if you have it hooked up, if you're an admin for a business account, you should be able to see profiles and go in here and select your profile. Now, on the left side of this landing screen, you can see some of the groups that you're in or some of your other pages. You also see this over here, Meta Business Suite. The reason I use this is because I can schedule content. Unlike on Instagram, I can't schedule anything. So I go to Meta Business Suite. I'm going to click on it. It's going to bring up the Meta Business Suite page. And so this is going to show you where your recent content is. I know it's kind of busy. There's a lot of stuff going on here. But the thing that we really care about here is this arrow, right? This has all of the different business accounts. And if your Meta Business Suite is not connected, or if your Facebook page is not connected to your Instagram account, that's something you need to do first. So basically, when you open Meta Business Suite, it's gonna prompt you to connect an Instagram account. As you can see here, look up here, it shows not only the Facebook page but the Instagram page. I can manage the Facebook page, I can go to Instagram, etc. So I connected these two accounts so that way I can post or schedule posts on both of them. Now, the important thing here, right, there's a lot of great tools, but I'm going to go to Planner. Planner is the place where I schedule all of my social media content. So I'm going to click Planner. It might automatically load a different page. Okay, good. No, it stayed on the same one. Okay, and so when you open Planner, this is roughly what you're going to see. You're going to see it'll probably be blank, actually. It'll probably be something like this. Schedule a post, story, or ad. And so if I wanted to schedule a post, what I would do is I would click schedule. And now I can schedule a post, I can schedule a story, I can create a reel, create an ad. I specifically use this for scheduling posts, and sometimes I use it to schedule stories. But a lot of the time it's posts that I'm scheduling. I go in here, I hit schedule post, and so it's going to come up, it's going to ask me when I want my post scheduled. Now, active times is helpful. It basically recommends different times when your followers were the most active in the last 7 days. And so if you use the active times, chances are you're going to get a little bit better interaction with your posts. Now, sometimes you don't want to schedule a post for like 7 p.m. Look, it looks like 7 p.m. is when all of our followers are active, or a lot of them. But sometimes you don't want to schedule a post for 7 p.m. Sometimes you want it to go out at noon, or sometimes you want it to go out at 5, or whatever it is, right? But I'm going to make something up. Let's say today at 7. That's when I want to schedule my post. I hit save. So now if I go up to the top here, look, this is posting it to my Facebook page, or not my Facebook page, but Campbell's ATA Black Belt Academy. I can also go in here and I can publish it to my Instagram page. All right. You can also post it directly to a group. We are not going to share it to this community group. There's a lot of options there. But if you wanted, you could share it to your family and friends Facebook group or something like that. But we're just going to select Facebook and Instagram. And so from here, you're going to need to add a photo. Now, I'm not going to add any photos for right now. This is the content that you are capturing. So you're either adding a photo, adding a video. We can talk about another tool called Canva later on. It's a free tool that you can use to create social media content. It's really valuable, really great. But that's for another video. This is where I would add my photo. And then from here, this is where I would add the text. Another important thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a location. So here, I'm going to type Campbell's. Look at that. It comes up. And I'm going to save that. So that way it says that we're checking in, or we're at Campbell's ATA Black Belt Academy. So that way anyone that's looking at the post can see exactly where we are. If it's at a tournament or something like that, at an external event that's not your school, you may want to check in at that specific location. But here you go. So that's the basics here. And so again, if I wanted, I could change the timing of the scheduling options, but this is my caption here where I'm going to add in the text. Now you could customize it for both Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook and Instagram can have different captions. I typically just use the same one. The only time that I'll change it is if I'm specifically tagging a Facebook page, or if I'm tagging an Instagram page specifically, like someone else's page, like Region 110B, or some other school that we did an event with, or something like that. That's when I might customize the different captions. Now, when it comes to captions, again, historically what I was doing is I was taking the picture or taking the content, I would write my own caption. What I find is that it takes, for me specifically, and I'm just talking about myself, maybe you're different, but for me, it took a long time to come up with a good caption. It took a long time coming up with a good caption and making sure that the English and the grammar were all correct. Back in school, I used to have my mom, who was like an English professor for a while, like review all of my stuff. She would do my proofreading and everything to make sure that everything made sense and was grammatically correct. And from that, I was actually able to learn how to write and phrase things pretty well. So I had a pretty good idea on how to type up things and how to create a good caption. But again, it took a long time. And so recently, there's been, you've heard a lot about AI in the news and everything like that. I've actually moved to doing a hybrid model. I still come up with my own captions, but I assist my work with artificial intelligence. And so this is how I do that. So I'm going to show you that process now. I'm going to go to a incognito tab. I'm going to type OpenAI, ChatGPT. And so when you go to this page, chat.openai.com, this is what's going to happen, right, if you're not logged in. Now, if you already have an account, you would just hit login. Otherwise, you would hit sign up. What I did is I signed up. It's completely free, by the way. They just need an account that they're going to create with you. It's free. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to pay any money or anything like that. I hit continue with Google, and I just logged in with my personal Google account. If you're a martial arts school, maybe you log in with your martial arts school account if you have a Google account for the school. You could do the same with Microsoft or Apple or whatever it is. Now, I'm not going to create a new account because I already have one, so I'm going to log in. I'm just going to use my existing account. Hopefully it saves my password. Let me continue with Google. Okay. So it's going to want me to log in here. Of course, log in. Great, wrong password. Okay. Let me pause and come back with my account. Hang on. And would you look at that? We're back. Sorry, I had to log in with my account. So here we are. This is what the dashboard looks like. Now, again, I've been using this, so there's a lot of extra stuff on the left side here. But this is basically how you use the program. Now, ChatGPT is like it's basically like a writing bot. Like it helps you write. It helps respond to text-based commands. And so I'm going to start a new chat. I'm actually going to create a hypothetical martial arts school. So let's say Acadia National Park or Bar Harbor, for example. Um, I'm opening up a school there. Hypothetically, right? Let's say um, we're gonna call it Bar Harbor Martial Arts, right? That's gonna be our martial arts school. So I'm typing that down here. Now, for this to work really well, again, you could just type in something simple like create a social media caption for XYZ. But if you give this program, if you give this artificial intelligence tool um, context, it performs better. So if I say something like Bar Harbor Martial Arts is a Taekwondo school located in Bar Harbor, Maine. We teach Sangam Taekwondo to children and adults. The school owner and chief instructor is Cody Abrupta, a 5th degree black belt. I'm giving it some context, right? This is Bar Harbor Martial Arts. Um, let's also come up with some hashtags. So for all social media captions, use the hashtags, and I'm going to give it some hashtags. So I'm going to always do ATA Martial Arts. I'm going to do ATA Worldwide, ATA Strong, Sangam Taekwondo, Bar Harbor. We're going to go Bar Harbor, Maine, ME, right? So you might want to tag your town or location. Maybe Maine Martial Arts, Taekwondo, or Taekwondo, sorry. And a number of other hashtags. Those are I get that that's a pretty good start, honestly. Um, and so I'm gonna hit enter, and so now it's gonna think, right? It's thinking about this stuff. It's responding with stuff. I didn't really even give it a command. It's already just typing things up. Um, it's actually just creating some social media campaigns using the hashtags that I put together. Um, and it's also using emojis too. That's something I forgot to say. When you're generating social media content, one of the things you want to do is when you ask this chatbot to come up with a caption, a social media caption for you, you want to have it add emojis because, again, for me personally, I was never really great at using emojis. I don't really use them in normal text very often, but this tool comes up with emojis that go along with your caption pretty well, and so that can be really useful. Anyway, if we just look at some of the stuff it came up with, this is pretty good. Discover the world of Sangam Taekwondo at Bar Harbor Martial Arts. Join us for an incredible journey in martial arts, and then it gives you some hashtags. So this is just some of the content that it can generate. But anyway, if I wanted to create a social media caption, let's go um, write a social media caption celebrating our students who recently went to the New England Championships regional tournament. So I type that in, and it comes up with this hashtag or this caption. We're incredibly proud of our dedicated students who represented Bar Harbor Martial Arts at the New England Championships Regional Tournament. Their hard work, determination, and skill shone brightly in the arena. Congratulations to our champions. And so it comes up with emojis. It uses all this text, and then luckily it uses proper grammar and everything already ready to go, and it used the hashtags we asked it to, which is awesome. It even added some of its own hashtags: New England Championships, Martial Arts Tournament, Student Achievements. So this is some good content. If you do this enough, you can generate a lot of captions, and it'll kind of spit out your usual it'll adopt like a writing style, and it'll use that for a lot of your content. And so let's do a couple more. So write a social media post celebrating Labor Day, right? Labor Day is coming up. So I can have it write a social media post celebrating Labor Day. And so what it does is it writes out that social media post. Okay, so this is a very generic post. Let's change our prompt. We're going to copy this again. Write a social media post for Bar Harbor Martial Arts. Oh, write a social media post for Bar Harbor Martial Arts. Yeah, write a social media post for Bar Harbor Martial Arts celebrating Labor Day. Right? And so, whereas the first one we got was just a generic one, now it's giving you a special post just for that. So happy Labor Day from all of us at Bar Harbor Martial Arts. Today we honor the hard work and dedication of our students on the mats, but also the incredible contributions of workers everywhere who make our world better. And it gives you a bunch of stuff. And so now it's giving you some content that's kind of specific, customized for you, but it's tied together, right? It's not just a generic post celebrating Labor Day. It's a post celebrating Labor Day, but from your business. And so you can do this for other holidays. What I recommend and what I've done already is for all of the major holidays, I basically created a post, or I entered a prompt into this tool to give me a caption for that post. So later on, when I am posting it, I already have the caption created. I just copy and paste. But if I, for example, wanted to use this caption, I would copy and paste this, right? Copy. One of the things you want to check too, it did not use all of the hashtags, but it used some of them. So that's something you might want to fix. But anyway, I could go in here and I could just add this as the caption. And so now I've got a caption for my social media content. But anyway, sorry, let's go back to this. So that's the tool that I use to generate a lot of the captions. Now, some of the things you're going to have to do, right? So if I'm going to go to the one for Campbell's ATA, let's see what our history is here. Okay, so here was the last one I did. Write a social media post about the significance of board breaking and Taekwondo. Mention life skills like goal setting and perseverance. And so this is what it spits out, right? It spits out some good content here that I can use for my post. And I scheduled this post ahead of time. So if I go back to the Facebook page, let's go to here, right? I'm going to just go back to content or maybe planner. I'm going to discard changes here. Let's go back to this. Oh, sorry. We want to go to planner. Right, what you can see, this is the post that I did today. Here's the post that I have scheduled. And so if I click on this post, if it loads, there we go. Here you go. Breaking boards in Taekwondo isn't just about impressive display of power, right? And so that board breaking post is already scheduled ahead of time. I have it scheduled for Friday at 5 p.m. But you can use this to schedule it. Now, one of the things is I had it create a post celebrating the students that participated in the recent rank graduation. And it came up with this good post. But the thing is, sometimes this AI tool uses a lot of flowery language. It uses a lot of extra adjectives. It maybe comes up with a response that isn't something that you would write, or isn't something that really sounds like your writing style, or maybe isn't exactly the post that you want. It's not exactly the phrasing you would use, I guess. And so you might have to go in and edit it. So, for example, in this post, celebrating our rising stars, we are incredibly proud to shine a spotlight on the dedicated and hardworking students who took the significant step forward in their martial arts journey at our recent rank graduation ceremony. Each one of you has demonstrated remarkable commitment, discipline, and perseverance to earn your new belts. It's not just about the color of the belt, it's a testament to our growth as martial arts. So, this is all good stuff. But to me, if I'm posting a picture of a bunch of tiny tigers getting stuff, at graduation, you know, each one of you demonstrated remarkable commitment, discipline, and perseverance. I mean, tiny tigers, no offense to them, of course. They work hard and they do a good job, but like this seems like it's really dressing up what they actually had to do at graduation, and I don't want to be fake with the content that I'm sharing. And so when I actually posted this, I removed this middle paragraph. It didn't feel right with the post that I was making. I kept some of this, but remember, this is just the beginning of your journey. Continue to set new goals. So I removed this part right here. But remember, this is just the beginning of your journey. No, what I did is I said, let us continue to set new goals, strive for excellence, that kind of stuff. Congratulations to our amazing students. Keep aiming high, and let's reach for the stars together. So I kept some of this stuff, but I changed some of this, right? So one of the important things you're going to have to do is there's sometimes where you type in your prompt, it spits out a caption, and it's perfect the way it is. But there's sometimes where you want to read it and you want to go, is this something that I would say? Is this something that I would post? And if it's not, you either regenerate, right? One of the options is to regenerate. You can have it write it again. Another option would be to just edit it down, like I was saying. You can go in and change it. Another command that is sometimes useful is shorten this. So let's say, for example, this last social media post, I can have it shorten the last post. So now it's going to shorten it. It's going to take that same message, but it's going to turn it into a shorter message. So rather than having maybe 2 sentences per thing, it's going to just go down to 1 sentence. So sometimes shortening the post is an effective way to get it to say or be concise with the language. Sometimes you want to lengthen the post. I mean, there's not really a lot of times that I find where I want to actually lengthen something, but we can say maybe expand on the perseverance aspect of board breaking. And so now it's going to give a little bit more about specifically the perseverance component of that board breaking post. And so now I have ways of focusing in on different details. But I think that this tool is really effective. It's super helpful for me to come up with material like this. Keep in mind, again, I am going through and I'm editing the content. I'm reading it all and changing things and things of that nature. But it's a really great foundation, and it puts out good grammar and good English, proper English, with proper spelling and all of that stuff. So it can definitely be a really important tool. And it's something that I use not only with the Taekwondo school that I help manage, but also the regional pages that I help manage. I use these to generate. So if I go to Region 110A, for example, right, I use this to write captions for their social media. So for example, if you looked at Region 110A, you can check their Instagram and Facebook page, write a short caption congratulating the competitor on achieving the title of world champion. This sample will be used to congratulate a number of different individuals achieving world champion titles in different martial arts events. And it came up with this really great caption. Now, I didn't keep all of this. Again, I went in and I edited some of this information, but I kept a lot of it, and I was able to copy and paste different competitors' names in to do a celebration post for them without having to rewrite it every time. Again, I I've got a lot of stuff on my plate. I don't have time to really sit down and write these perfect captions for social media, and so being able to lean on this tool to help me do that really saves me a lot of time, and I find that it's been a really valuable tool for me. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. I know it's a little bit long-winded, but I think that this can really help somebody, a school owner or a business owner, manage their martial arts social media or their organic content in a way without having to have years of experience managing social media. Being able to just step right in and, you know, and have some pretty good quality content being produced just from the start. So hopefully this was helpful. Have a great day.